And we're back. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into some fan quesos. Got some good ones for you guys. Some really good stuff going on here. So it's the same participants as usual, which I am not opposed to. But hey, feel free to drop them. Oh, actually, you know what? I did have a screenshot from last week's episode. Let me find that bad boy real quick, and then we will hop into the fan quesos after I can do that. Okay, so we got this first one. You know what, man? I don't know your name. And now I kind of feel like a jerk a little bit. So that is my bad. I don't think I've ever asked that, but I also don't think you've told me, and maybe we just haven't had that conversation. So feel free to text me, and because we've done that, we've exchanged the numbers. So feel free to text me, man. We'll do that. And by the way, please reach out and let's try to find a way. Maybe because we're in the season change, season 4 to 5 of Ram Showcase. Maybe next week we can hop on and have some good conversation, man, and publish that video. Okay, I think that would be a lot of fun. But this question here: do you think that Wolford would be a good enough to be a Rams starter in 2021? And possibly lead us to an 11-5, 12-4 season? No, I don't. I really don't. I realize that saying that Wolford is not, that he doesn't excite me is like super taboo in the Rams fan world right now. But no, I just don't see it. I really, really like Wolf as the Rams backup quarterback. But as far as a starter, I would not want to enter the season with him as QB1. That would make me really nervous. He's played... In his NFL career, he has not scored any offensive touchdowns. He has not put the team in position to score any offensive touchdowns. And he's only lasted 4.5 quarters before he got hurt and wasn't able to come back in. So no, I don't know, man. It's not something that I think would be exciting to watch. And I just don't think I like him as a backup. That's really what I can say is if Stafford goes down, I don't hate that Wolf's on the bench. But I don't want to see the Rams going into the season with Wolf as the number one guy. Which, I mean, we don't have to now. And I realize that question was pre-Stafford, so I feel you. So this one comes from Tyler. Where do you see Stafford falling on the touchdown to interception ratio? I'm thinking 30-plus for 8 picks. I think it'll be a little bit closer. I think the Rams are running the football a lot more, and maybe that changes with Stafford coming in. But I also, man, I think that we're closer to, 30 makes sense, because I want to say 28. I don't know why 28's sticking in my head. I want to say 28 and like 11 picks, maybe more, because it's not like Stafford's like Mr. Protect the Football. He's a slinger, man. So, I mean, I don't think it'll be that big of a difference necessarily, but I think we could see a good 3-1. I think that's pretty real. A good 3-1. Next one from Tyler. What big free agents do you see the Rams chasing? Oh, man, such a tough question to answer, especially before we know who's being cut. We're still... I know Rams fans, especially now after this trade, Rams fans are sitting like super hardcore into offseason mode. We're not there yet. And there's going to be a lot of guys cut. A lot of teams are going to be making some moves to free up some cap space, stuff like that we don't know about yet. But right now, I'm on the Chris Godwin train. I want Chris Godwin to become an LA Ram. And I think bringing in him with Matt Stafford, because we're going to need some burners, all right? With Matt Stafford's cannon coming in, he's got a freaking rocket launcher attached to his shoulder. And, I mean, I liked Goff's deep ball, especially 2018. Last year wasn't as prominent, I guess, and maybe the attempts just weren't there. But I liked that. But Stafford, man, he's clearly got a cannon. That's like what he's known for, is his arm strength. So I think we need to bring in a speed guy. Chris Godwin's my vote. Next one from Tyler. Which free agents do the Rams retain? For me, it would be Williams and Lloyd. I mean, we obviously talked about it here. As far as guys that I really want Darius Williams to stay, because I would be super disappointed if we let an RFA with that much talent walk. I also really want to see Morgan Fox back. I think he brings a lot into that Rams front. Leonard Floyd, I would like to see Floyd stay. I just don't think we can afford him, man. And John Johnson, of course I would want to see John Johnson stay. I don't want to see him go. I just don't think that we can pull it off. Eva says, you should have gotten your painting today to show it off. I 100% agree, Eva. And you're probably not even going to watch this answer, but I want you to know that I will be picking it up tomorrow. Thursday. So by the time you're seeing this, I probably already have it. It's going to go right here in this little empty spot right here. My friend Eva, she does paintings, and she made me a blue and yellow painting. I'm really excited about. I'm going to go pick it up tomorrow. So thank you, Eva. You're the man. This one comes from Paul. Why don't the Rams value first-round picks the way that everyone else does? Well, that's because, Paul, we're going to go into we're going to have this conversation right now. The hit rate on first-round picks is about 50%. Okay? I saw this one on Pat McAfee. He was like, remember, Christian Ponder was a first-round pick. If that tells you anything. I was looking at the Rams' first-round picks for the last, 20 or so years. Jared Goff, of course, no longer here. Todd Gurley, no longer here, might retire. Aaron Donald, absolute stud. All right, that guy is a space robot sent to Earth to destroy quarterbacks in the NFL. But other than that, we got Greg Robinson, Alec Ogletree, who, in fairness, played really well for a long time. Tavon Austin, who, dude, potential for days, just never really hit it. Michael Brockers, who is still here. Robert Quinn, who I absolutely loved. Absolute stud. He's the one that taught Aaron Donald that little jump when you're doing the swim. So hey, thanks for that, man. And then of course you got Sam Bradford, Jason Smith, Chris Long. Of course he had a pretty high impact, but Adam Carricker, Ty Hill, Alex Smith, or Alex Barron. I mean, sorry. These are the names that you get. So we just went back to 2005. Before that, Steven Jackson. So I'm pointing to this screen like you guys can see it right now. But either way, so you started Alex Barron, Ty Hill, Adam Carricker, Chris Long, 25% there. You add in Jason Smith, we're at 20%. Sam Bradford, I'm not that good at math. And then Robert Quinn brings it back up, and Brockers brings it back up. Then you got Tavon and Alec Ogletree, who I wouldn't even put as hits or misses. They were kind of they were good for a while. Helped, Tavon Austin lit up the Colts that one time. Alec Ogletree, moving to the 3-4, destroyed Alec Ogletree. And then, of course, Greg Robinson, holding offense number 73. It's burned into my brain. I can't get it out. And then, Todd Gurley, who was obviously, he was MVP running for a while. He won Offensive Player of the Year, won Offensive Rookie of the Year, and then just completely, fell off. And then Jared Goff, of course, took the Rams to the Super Bowl. So those ones there, those last two, it's difficult. And of course, that is the most recent first round pick of the LA Rams is Jared Goff. But my point is, Paul, is because maybe the Rams aren't that good at picking in the first round. All right, we've got some really good gems later on in the draft that I think, I don't know, man. It's first round picks are far from guarantees. And I think that some teams view first round picks as like this ultimate holy grail of amazingness in the NFL, that if you have that, you've got everything, man. All you've got is potential. You've got the whole world in front of your hands, man. And the Rams just don't see it that way. And I don't hate it at all, because when we're getting excited over, over picking Alex Barron in the first round, and it's like, oh, nice, we got our tackle. And then it's like, oh, no, we don't. No, we don't. Okay, Jason Smith. All right, we got our tackle. Next Orlando Pace. Let's go. No. Greg Robinson. Oh, yeah, we got him. Next Orlando Pace. Let's go. And then it just keeps failing. It's not a promise at all. It's not a guarantee at all. And just from looking back to the 2005 season, the Rams hit rate on these under 50%. I would put that under 50, or at least almost 50, but it's not even there. So it's not a guarantee. I think what you do is you give up two toss-ups. Basically, it's a coin toss. On every time you draft somebody, it's a coin toss. So you throw away two coin tosses for a guy that you feel pretty confident that can get it done. And he's only 33. He turns 33 on Sunday? And that's Matt Stafford. And you look around the NFL. Tom he's in the Super Bowl. He's 10 years older than that. So I don't know how much longer Matt Stafford can play, but either way, man, it makes more sense to me to give 2 ones away for a guy that you feel confident in, that's already gotten it done, who, was the fastest quarterback to fit 45,000 yards, who is one of, he's in record, races with guys like Aaron Rodgers, and you give up those 2 coin tosses for a guy that you feel really good about, who's got experience, who could potentially play for the next 8-9 years. I don't see why it's a bad move at all. I don't see why anybody would think it is. And I know that's not what you're saying, but that's kind of the point here, Paul. Let's see. Next one from Paul. Do you think Jared Goff will have success in Detroit? That's so hard to tell right now. But what I will say, what I can say about the Detroit Lions is I think that they're in the right direction. They are hitting the right direction this offseason. Not necessarily getting rid of your quarterback who's helped you quite a bit, but I realize that was a mutual agreement. And I don't think Jared Goff's necessarily like a bad quarterback. Like if he comes in, you're screwed and you can't win anything. I don't think that that's the case at all. So I think that ultimately with Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, I love Dan Campbell. First of all, gig him Aggies. He is a former Aggie. And then that's not the only reason I like him. I love his attitude, man. The biting kneecaps and stuff like that. You realize how fired up Rams fans would have been if that would have been in our press conference for a new head coach. We would have been talking about that for days. And then you got Anthony Lynn. You've got, you got Capers helping on the defense, man. They've got a good staff out there. And I think in some time, especially bringing in Brad Holmes, former director of of college scouting from the LA Rams, has been with the Rams in the scouting department since 2003. He comes over now, is in the GM spot for the Detroit Lions. And I think that they're slowly going to start putting it together, man. I really think that they are. And I think he's going to do decent, but I don't think he signs another deal. He's got 4 years left. I think that he plays that out and they probably go in a different direction. This one comes from Jason. Do you think we now have the offense to average 30 plus points a game again? If so, please elaborate. If not, what pieces do you think we are missing? I have a slight concern about not having a deep threat and an ongoing concern about our pass protection. Do you share those concerns? Let's break that down. So, do I think we have the offense now to average 30 plus points a game again? As long as we have McVay, we have the potential for that. I truly do believe that. I truly believe as long as Sean McVay is in town, the Rams have the potential to put up 30 plus points in any game. Unless it's those random ones where we can only score 6 for some reason. If so, please elaborate. This is it's a creative offense that utilizes play action more than anybody else does. And Matt Stafford can get it done, and we've got the talent around him. It really did feel like because I can't say it enough. I am a Jared Goff fan, but it did feel like he was holding us back a little bit, especially near the end of the season. It did feel like he was holding us back. What pieces do I think we're missing? I agree with you. I think we're missing a deep threat. I think that that's something that the Rams need to address, but I think that's something the Rams will address. We're pre-offseason still. We're not even in the offseason, technically. I know it feels like we are because the Rams are already making trades, but we're not in the offseason. We got to wait until some other things happen. There's going to be a lot of things unfolding that are going to impact how the rest of this offseason goes. Pass protection? No, I'm not concerned about the pass protection at all, and I'm still confused at why there's this idea that the Rams' offensive line is just not very good. I don't agree with it. According to PFF, it's a top 3 offensive line. I just don't. I don't know, man. I think that the comments about the Rams' offensive line not being good, I think are carryover from 2019, where it was a little bit more rough, the offensive line. Let's see here. I think the rest of these are from Cody. Yeah, Cody. Thank you, dude. Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. All right, Cody. The rest of these are from Cody, so I'm not going to say names every time. Matthew Stafford, facts we probably don't know other than his name. Yes, his name is John. I don't know. I don't know that. He likes eggs in them. I don't know, man. I don't know what you want out of that question. Other facts. Fastest quarterback to 45,000. I don't know, man. 45,000. I just said that. Really? Oof. Long day, apparently. Next one here. Most underrated Ram going into the 2021 season. Should have thought about that one a little bit more, but I'm going to say Van Jefferson. I think Van Jefferson he's got it, man. And I think that this is the year that we start utilizing him a lot more. And I think that's also the reason that we don't bring back Josh Reynolds, who I would love to bring back, but I don't know. Next one, farthest thrown completion by Jared Goff versus Matt Stafford. That's you're gonna hate my answer to this because the answer is I don't know, but I also don't care because that's irrelevant because that gets into like some MLB level analytics that I don't think are important to the game of the NFL. The longest completion, like thrown completion, especially in the Rams' offensive scheme, is not necessarily going to be a thing at all. And the reason that I say that is because you look at, Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods were both top 5 in yards after catch this last season. And a big part of that is the offensive scheme. So no, I don't think it's relevant. And I don't know because I don't think it's relevant. That's why I don't know. I was going to look it up, and I still can for you, man, and I probably will because I'm going to feel bad about this answer that I'm giving you right now. So I'll probably try to find that information. I don't even know where to look for that information. I'll find it, though. There's enough websites on the internet. Well, that's the weirdest sentence I've ever said. Oh, I lost my page. So there's enough information out there that I could probably find that for you, but no, I don't think it's relevant. But as far as that goes, I would probably guess it's Matt Stafford that's thrown the farthest, like from like a line of scrimmage or hand to receivers' hands. I don't know. Let's see. Is Goff's career to be a perennial average starter, or does he have the ego to be a backup? I don't believe he has enough humility. I don't know the answer to that question because I don't know Jared Goff personally enough to know how he would react in that situation. He's never been in that situation. He was a 4-year starter at Cal, a 5-year starter in LA, and he was a starter in high school. You don't become a starter in Cal if you're not, if you don't have some tape that they can look at and stuff. So, he's never had to do that. So the true answer is I don't know. I think that if he's in the right situation, he can perform really well. I think that he thrives and also collapses on his confidence. And I think this season we saw his confidence drop quite a bit. And you know what? Maybe going to a new team will boost that again. I just don't know him personally enough to be able to answer that question. Todd Gurley, 2021 season status. Is he going to retire? I don't know. And you're going to hate this answer too. I also don't care because he's not a Ram anymore. I don't think that he will. I think that he will try to continue to play. But as far as Todd Gurley's future in the NFL, it's almost irrelevant. I feel like I'm being just rude now, but I'm not trying to. That's not my intention, dude. You know that. You're the homie, but I don't know. But even if he does return, I don't think it's not high impact because he's pretty average these days. Do you think that McVay got the absolute best out of Goff? In my opinion, it seems that McVay's offense was getting figured out a bit, and he had to adjust and adapt and change it a bit when Jared struggled. Or to adjust to the new variations of Sean McVay's systems. Do you agree? I do agree, but in a weird way, I don't. Because when the Rams offense was clicking and it was on fire, the whole conversation was Sean McVay's offense is insane. Sean McVay's offense is unstoppable. Look at how creative Sean McVay's offense is. And the second that the Rams offense started struggling, it was Jared Goff sucks. He can't get it done. It was never Sean McVay called a bad game, which is what I've said on this show is that Sean McVay did not do a good job today. It's like Sean McVay didn't put us in a good spot. Sean McVay manages his timeouts terribly, which is, I don't think, going to change, and that's fine. It's just something we got to deal with, It's like when you're in a relationship and like their feet stink really bad, but you really like them, It's like it sucks. You don't want to deal with that, but hey, it's part of it, you don't love it, but it's not going to kill it for you. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I equate that for some reason. But no, I don't. I think that, I think that McVay did get the best out of Goff, but I'm interested to see if that is the best of Goff. But as far as the LA Rams, we got the best out of Goff that he was going to be in LA. And I think that was in 2018. Troy Hill or Darius Williams? Who is better? I think Hill is a little slow. Yeah, so between Troy Hill and Darius Williams, I go Darius Williams, and I don't think it's as close as other people think it is. I think Darius Williams is a lot better than Troy Hill. I don't think that Troy Hill sucks that bad, but or I don't think he sucks. He's a good player, but Darius Williams is much better than Troy Hill. Do you think Micah Kaiser will make a jump in 2021? I think he made a pretty big jump in 2020, bro. I obviously you hope to see these people continue to get better every single year, and that's kind of what the purpose is. That's why you bring in guys like Raheem Morris is to keep the progressions going and stuff. But as far as making another jump, I would hope so. I would hope he always makes a jump, but I think he made a pretty big jump recently, and I don't think he's getting enough credit. Any news on Whitworth? Not yet. I would go ahead, if you had to put money on it, which is the weirdest. If somebody made you put money on this, that would be weird. But any news on Whitworth? If I had to put money on it, I would say he's going to be back. What happens if Stafford is a bust? Not possible. I was going to put that out. He's 33. We're past that time frame. Okay. If Matt Stafford is a bust, I don't think he will, but is McVay on the hot seat if the Stafford trade does not work out? And if so, what accomplishment makes the trade a success? Ooh, I like that part. I don't see a way that happens where he's a bust, but I would love for you to define what you think that is. What would establish a Matt Stafford season where we would say that it failed? I don't know. Is it more interceptions than touchdowns? I don't think that's something that Stafford will do in LA. Is it not making the playoffs? Maybe that's it. But as far as what accomplishment makes the trade a success is as long as the Rams don't get worse. The Rams went 10-6, won a playoff game. As long as you don't go 9-7 and lose a playoff game, and you're continuing to get better, I think it's a win. Deep threat potential options. Chris Godwin for days, dude. I'm all over the Chris Godwin train. I'm not going to shut up about it until he signs somewhere else or he signs in LA. And then we're going to talk about how excited I am that Matt Stafford and Chris Godwin are about to light it up together with Bobby Trees and Cooper Kupp, Cam Akers, Van Jefferson. I'm here for it, man. But that is really what I want. I want to see Chris Godwin. There are other options out there. I think Juju Smith-Schuster would be a good option if he can prove that he cannot be such a jerkwad off the field. Or technically on the field, because that's what he's doing. He's like dancing around and stuff. So I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe I don't want him. I want Godwin for sure. Why did Goff quit getting better? Jared Goff quit getting better because I think he got paid, and I think that the conversation in the media, I think he is a guy that does get wrapped up into that. Into the, look at how amazing the Rams are. They're coming off the 2018 season. Yeah, they lost the Super Bowl, but look at this roster. They got Jared Goff who's lighting it up. They've got all these wide receivers. They got a good defense. I kind of felt like that was he got a little overconfident maybe for a little bit there. And I think I really do think that's what happened. I think that the Rams were being talked about too much. Goff's press conference in St. Louis after his rookie season, his desire was there to work and get better for the fans. Can you notice the difference in attitude from early on in his career to more recent, where it seems to me like he thought in a press conference that he just had an air about him that he had a huge... this one's confused me. That he had a huge ego and was losing games, making mistakes, couldn't even check. I'm not 100% sure what the question is here. I'm going to start with he never played in St. Louis. He was the first draft pick of the Rams returning to LA, so he was never a St. Louis Ram. But also, yeah, I think there's some differences there. I mean, look at after his rookie season. You can tell after his rookie season where I just want to make sure there's not more. No, we're good. Okay, so you can tell after his rookie season where he's like, I want to get this fixed. I promise it'll get fixed. And then he came in and played so much better in 2017. That was gone. That attitude was gone. And I go back to the fact that I think that he just got a little bit overly confident. And maybe the media was hyping the Rams a little too much, and he thought that maybe he didn't need to work as hard. Maybe he was there. Maybe he thought that he was there. Maybe he thought he was that guy now. And maybe stopped working. But maybe that's not the case anymore. I mean, when the team that gives you an extension, drafts you number 1 overall, you take them to a Super Bowl, they give you an extension, you're talking about in the media all day long, and that team decides we need to move on from this guy. Like pretty quickly after all that happens, you got to really look at yourself and say, what did I do? Where did I go wrong? And that's what Jared Goff needs to do right now, and I think that's what he will.